Okay, so this rhyme is called Fiddle-dee-dee, okay? And it's also about a bumblebee. It's about a fly and a bumblebee. And I'm gonna teach this to you, and then there's a wee game that you guys can play with this one, okay? All right, but first we'll just, if you can say this along with me, you can maybe learn some of the words and say it along if that's okay. Otherwise, you can just clap along for now, okay? And so the first part goes fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee. That's kind of tricky to say, but kind of fun to say, okay? So it goes fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee. The fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. That's a funny one, huh? Okay, let's try that again. So ready, steady, off we go. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee. The fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. For some reason I keep wanting to say the mouse has married the bumblebee. I think there's a rhyme like that too. But this one is the fly. The fly has married the bumblebee. Okay, so let's try this one again. So ready, steady, off we go. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee. The fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. Okay, so I'm going to show you how we play this as a game. Okay, so you'll need to be in a circle, standing in a circle. And then one person is in the middle. And I think probably the first person to be in the middle should probably be your teacher. Okay, and then she can show you how the game works. Okay, so everyone else, you're gonna have your hands like this. Can you do that? You can go like this or you can go like this, whichever is easier, but you're gonna put your hands together some way like that, okay? This might be the easiest, okay? You can imagine you've got the fly and the bumblebee in your hands, okay? Can you imagine they're buzzing around in there? And you're gonna hold your hands out like that, and then the person in the middle is gonna go around and kind of point to each of your hands, okay? Like that, round the circle, okay? And then when the rhyme is finished, whoever she's pointing at, you then get to go into the middle. That person gets to go into the middle, and then you get to be the person that goes around and points to everyone's hands, okay? And whoever then you stop at, then that person gets to go in, and so on, okay? So hopefully everyone will get a turn, okay? And we're gonna point kind of nice and steady like this. So it's like fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee. The fly has married the bumblebee, and all the way around, okay? So I'm gonna say it a few more times and you guys can try that. So you're gonna have your teacher in the middle to start, and you're all gonna be standing there with your hands like this, together like this, okay? And then she's gonna point, she's gonna go around and point, and you'll see who she lands on, who she's finishing on when the rhyme finishes, and then that person will get to go into the middle and do what she did, okay? All right, and you might need a little help with it at first, but you'll figure it out. Okay, all right, so ready, steady, off we go. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. I wonder who got picked to go in the middle. Okay, well, and then that person might need a wee bit of help. You might need to have your teacher help you in the middle a few times to get the hang of it, okay? So ready, steady, off we go. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. Whoop. Who got picked this time? So then that person goes into the middle, and then we can go again. Okay, so we go ready, steady, off we go. Fiddle-dee-dee, fiddle-dee-dee, the fly has married the bumblebee. They went to church and married was she. The fly has married the bumblebee. Okay. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed that one and that you can play that game. You can probably play that game a few times, huh? All right. And hopefully you'll see some bumblebees this week, huh? Maybe some flies too. Okay, bye. See you soon.